Hello everyone and welcome back to round 3 of our F1 2006 Championship Edition career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Australian Grand Prix in Albert Park. If you missed out on the video that went live a few days ago from Sepang, I would highly recommend going back and checking out. It's safe to say, so far, the wheel is working for me. We've survived the first 2 Grand Prix, which I can't normally say inside this game. Still waiting on our first points of the year, though. Giancarlo Fisichella leads the championship ahead of Fernando Alonso. Really does seem like early on, Renault have got the jump on everybody else. Raikkonen in P3 ahead of both of those Ferraris. We are 12th overall, though, in the World Championship right now. And really my goal this season is to try and obviously move up into a bigger and better team as soon as we possibly can. Of course, if you're new, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel as well. We're trying to hit 7k subs at the moment. A massive thank you to everybody for the support and kind of the positive words of encouragement in the first couple of videos. Yes, I definitely feel more at home on a wheel as well. So as we return to Albert Park, this circuit actually one of the most difficult inside this game. So if we can survive this one, I'll be pretty happy. So I guess let's head out into qualifying.
Third stop on the Formula One calendar, we're here in Albert Park, Melbourne, for another fascinating qualifying session. Session 1 will begin shortly, and we'll know by the end of it who will make up the final 6 places on the grid.
Well, pretty much immediately then, as we came into this weekend here at Albert Park, I felt far more at home than I ever had done on a controller. This circuit's horrible on a controller because there's so many kind of long corners, so obviously you've just kind of got a tap steer, which never really works particularly well. It is definitely, though, a very good track for the AI, and like I've said before, you know, I don't think I'm much quicker on a wheel. I'm just far more consistent. Of course, last season, there was a huge pile-up on lap 1, which caused plenty of problems for other drivers and kind of allowed us to move way higher up the order than I probably ever deserved to over the course of that weekend. But I'm not optimistic we'll make Q2 today. If we somehow squeeze by, I'll be very happy. Oh, apparently, still... Oh, no. Ow, sorry. I might have taken out a Toro Rosso there. Come on, let's just go back to the pit lane, please. That's scary. After those early session problems, we are already back out on the circuit then, ready to try and get our first time on the board. Thiago Montero on a 1:29.8 is actually a very competitive lap time here for one of these back marker cars. Let's just take it nice and easy, get our first lap time on the board, and then we can kind of start trying to push the limits. Well, so far then, this lap feeling fairly hooked up to this point, just trying to chuck it through the chicane there, and again you can just see actually able to meet the apex quite reliably and hopefully not understeer out wide on the exit. A lot of fast lap times coming in from other drivers. Definitely where I'm losing most of my time though seems to be actually on braking. I'm just having to brake a little bit too early still at the moment, so just a little bit of exploration in through that penultimate couple of corners. Don't know what the McLarens did IRL a few weeks ago then, but at the final turn, first lap, nothing to write home about, nothing particularly special. It's going to be a 1:31.2, puts us P20, but there's definitely more. Doesn't it when I brake on the grass, though? Accidentally sending it through that first corner. I'm impressed we didn't spin. Oh, and immediately, why have we got a Midland and a Renault going side by side? Come on, lads. Get out of the way. A little bit wide there. That might validate the lap time. What are you doing? Come on, move. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. Lap's over. Well, definitely the thing that I've still got to get used to, the biggest difference between this and a modern F1 game, is just the steering delay on rotation. It feels like, obviously, when you turn in, it takes a little while longer. It's always been the same on controller, but it definitely just feels more noticeable. But 9/10 up, though, through Sector 1. I feel like this lap is starting to come together a little bit more as well. Oh, another 10th up in Sector 2. Going to go for a bit of rally cross though on the exit. I doubt we'll improve now. Up towards the line then. What's the time going to be? A 1:30.3. We're out of fuel. I might just have time to go for one more. Well, by the time we managed to get back to the pit lane, put some fuel in the car, sadly there wasn't enough time to get back out there for a final run. We do go quicker than E-Day for the third weekend straight so far this season, but a few tenths away from Scott Speed and Thiago Montero. Viantonio Luizzi will make it through into Q2, so good job by him at Nick Heidfeld's expense there. He looked very good in race 1 and 2, so I'm still here. We're disappointed to be out in Q1, but I guess we need to head into the race.
Here we are in lovely Melbourne, and this, the Australian Grand Prix. The first time that this beautiful Albert Park venue was used to host the Australian Grand Prix was back in 1996. It really is in a great location, sandwiched as it is between the city and the ocean. It's the perfect place for a Grand Prix because of the sheer enthusiasm of the organisers and the huge crowds we see here year in and year out. I'm told that the crowds are up again this year. It's a clear day here at the moment, good visibility for the drivers. Lining up on pole is Fernando Alonso. Second on the grid is Michael Schumacher. Felipe Massa is in third. Jenson Button lines up fourth. Fifth is Kimi Raikkonen. Giancarlo Fisichella is next to him in sixth. Seventh place for Juan Pablo Montoya. Jarno Trulli occupies eighth on the grid.
We're getting ready then for the race today. Fernando Alonso, Renault again on pole position here, and once more Ferrari will join them on the front row. Ferrari 2 and 3, so hopefully they're going to be more of a threat to Renault today. World Championship leader Fisichella seemingly struggling a whole lot more this weekend than he has done in the first two races. I mean, you don't really expect Fisichella to be a World Championship threat inside this game. Anybody that remembers the 2006 season knows, you know, he was no match for Alonso and Michael Schumacher. Then again, neither was Felipe Massa, and he can often have some good runs inside this game as well, but we've really not been able to put much front temperature into the tyres. This is going to be a tough start. Yeah, we've just got to make sure we survive turn 1. That's the big goal. Rear tyres look good.
Seconds to go before we're racing. You can really feel the tension.
Getting off to a particularly good getaway then as a few AI trip over each other. Come on, let's just make it into T1. Oh no, big crash.
And behind him is Michael Schumacher. Next is Massa.
Well, I think that's Rosberg then immediately out of the Grand Prix. No idea what happened. I think he had a collision with, I think it was Klein in the Red Bull car there. Yeah, because Coulthard's still in front of me. But plenty of bumping and bashing then on that one as we're going to try and go past the other Red Bull. Whoa. It's those little moments where you've got a bit more confidence on the wheel than I ever did on controller. We've got another one gone.
It's Barrichello! That incident certainly hasn't helped his race because he's just retired. Webber was the other car involved in that. Luckily, he seems to have got out of that without damaging his front suspension. His front wing is flapping about though, so he'll have to pit for a replacement.
Well, that might be the most chaotic start I think I've ever had inside this game, but we're all the way up to 10th place then on lap 1, basically just by avoiding carnage and trying to move our way through. That's not the ideal line there. Webber, I believe that is, will go straight back past me, so will Jacques Villeneuve, but yeah, running way higher up the order than I was expecting to by the end of that opening lap. Klein that is as well, will make it back by me, so I think, has Coulthard picked up some damage somewhere as well? Perhaps he has. Back to the inside of Klein, in towards those final couple of corners. It's one of the only braking zones I feel particularly strong at, as yeah, Webber does have to dive it into the pit lane at the end of lap 1. So we've gained 9 spots in the end on that first lap, and we've still got a whole car intact.
With the first lap completed,
my lord, what is that?
Alonso leads.
What is going on?
Is in second. Massa is third. Button is fourth.
Well, one of the Red Bulls then blowing up. I think that was Coulthard, but Klein went for a ridiculous send on us down at the first couple of corners. Luizzi now as well, trying to go for it against me, so everybody has got out for us early on. I'm just trying to settle into a rhythm here, and the AI clearly don't fancy it. Oh, we've got more oil down. I think someone else has blown up in this Grand Prix. I think we've already lost a good 4 cars from the event up to this point. Finally getting the tyres up to temperature as well. But yeah, Luizzi Really just trying to go for moves pretty much everywhere he possibly can. The AI, I don't think they're much quicker than us around a lap here. I'm just so worried about getting dive bombed and potentially taken out of the Grand Prix that I'm trying to outbrake myself into the corners, which isn't really working for us. I just want to try and get a couple of seconds clear of him, and then we can kind of just focus on hitting my own lines. Gap to Albers is definitely opening up a little bit further behind. I just hope there's some chaos in front. Well, with every race we do, I feel like my consistency is just getting a little bit better. Definitely still having a few little moments here and there, but getting more and more confident and up to speed with the wheel. We're definitely not got the pace though to keep up with, you know, your Villeneuves, your Schumachers, either Schumacher for that matter. It's kind of your big five teams, and Jacques have ran away from me. So we've lost one of the BARs from this event, so at least we're going to beat them. But yeah, Luizzi, he's not able to apply as much pressure to me anymore, so I guess we're just kind of waiting for the pit stops. Ooh, no. Oh, that was scary. Oh, luckily managed just to spike the throttle to get the rear end rotated back around. I think if we'd hit the wall at much more of an angle than that, that would have been us out of the Grand Prix, but we've escaped death that time. Luizzi now again right up my trumpet. The real one though is Nick Heidfeld. Tough qualifying for him, but definitely still has a lot of pace in that BMW Sauber. As our rear tyres are really starting to go. Might have to try and box a little bit early here. Let's have a listen.
So leads. Michael Schumacher is in second. Button is third. Fourth is Fisichella. He's up from fifth. Trulli fifth. That's a gain of 1 place. Raikkonen sixth. Montoya is seventh. And Massa is eighth.
Well, Luizzi again there going for a very, very aggressive move down at the final couple of corners. Can we try and get a run back on him though in towards turn 1? I was going to try and line it up through the final couple of turns, but I don't think that's going to happen for us. It might now give the Italian a chance to run away, especially if I take lines like that. Oh, I felt everybody's going for dive bombs on me. Oh no. Oh, we got stuck with him. We got completely stuck to Nick Heidfeld there. That was really weird. And both of us just lost all the speed we had. Luizzi now as well then. He's going to absolutely run away from us.
At the halfway mark. First is Button. Fisichella is second. Trulli is third.
What? Clean, man.
He
has no patience.
Montoya fifth. That's a gain of 2 places.
So I think Schumacher then's gone on pit in this Grand Prix. I think both Ferraris have pit then as Clean into a pit lane as well. Let's try and select a pit stop. I think I've just selected and then unselected the pit stop, so we'll go like that again. See what the team say. Yeah, I'm worried about obviously getting undercut quite badly anyway, but yeah, we can box. You can brake at the 50-meter board there. It just does not feel confident, inspiring to me. I'm always just worried that the car won't stop. No, I think I picked up a puncture. Oh, what? That shouldn't be race over, surely. Tyre hasn't completely ripped off. We've just got a puncture, so we should be able to limp it back round. But absolute disaster. That might be a bigger problem. We got another puncture. Oh man, just no. How did that rip the wheel off? Damn it, man. First retirement of the year. I felt like we were doing pretty well up to that point. That is a heartbreaking end. How on earth did the first 2 contacts not rip off the wheel, or even the accident before, but that tiny little hit of the wall sends us to the back of the field?
Another brilliant weekend here in Melbourne, I think you'll agree. Join us in 2 weeks' time when we'll be heading back to Europe for a 5-race stint that will start at San Marino, where Ferrari will be expected to put on a show of strength for the ever-loyal Tifosi. Following that, it's the Nürburgring for the European Grand Prix. Then Barcelona in Spain. And then heading into June, we've got the wonderfully glamorous, star-studded Monaco Grand Prix. And finally, on to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix before heading stateside. We hope you'll join us for all of them. See you soon.
Well, I have no idea what must have happened after we retired from the Grand Prix. Jenson Button takes the win, but 14 retirements from this afternoon's running there. more annoyingly for us, a Midland and a Toro Rosso were able to score by courtesy of Thiago Monteiro there and Luizzi as well. So I believe that immediately shuffles us right to the back of the World Championship. Raikkonen now leads ahead of Fisichella and Alonso there. Massa still in P4 ahead of Button. Schumacher's down to 6th. Monteiro's up to 10th, just behind Luizzi. And still the likes of Jarno Trulli and Juan Pablo Montoya have failed to score so far this year. We're down to 16th as well in the Drivers' World Championship. Renault with a 9-point buffer over Ferrari. Honda now tied with McLaren in P3 there. As Sauber moved to 5th. Toro Rosso are ahead of Midland and Williams. And it's just us and Red Bull that are yet to score a point this season as well. That's why retiring on this game is so bad, because it just makes the races absolute carnage. Thank you all so much for watching nonetheless, though. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon for the San Marino Grand Prix.